All right, coaches, what I'm going to go through is the clean, or the squat clean for today. The reason why I want to go through this is because I want you to understand a clear and concise way how to coach it, right? Something that makes sense for all levels. The purpose of this clean is to teach in a class where you're teaching the general population. You have beginners, you have intermediate, you have people who've been doing it a long time. You want to be able to connect with them and make sure that you're hitting all the points of performance that need to be met in order for everybody to successfully complete the movements, right? Also, the sequencing that's being done, I want you to think about what happens when someone's not able to perform the full movement properly. You're able to take a step back. So we're going to be doing the hang clean, the high hang clean, the hang clean, and then the clean from the ground, okay? We're assuming that they've already been mobilized for hitting that front squat position, okay? So we start off with the high hang position, okay? So what I do is I have my hands about thumbs width apart or slightly more depending on flexibility from their quads. Okay, my feet are between shoulder and hip width apart right now. From here, my shoulders are back. I'm pressing the bar into my pockets. The reason why I'm doing that is at least it gives the members an opportunity to see what that position feels like. Because I can say pockets, but they don't really understand what that means. So if I have them able to press against themselves, they know that this is the position where the bar should take off. This is what it feels like. And when I'm pressing the bar, it's not just hanging, I'm pressing, I'm active. I can feel my lats, I can feel my shoulder blades activated as well. So I can feel that I'm not just dead hanging weight and I'm just swinging a bar, okay? So I'm in this position, in the high hang. I'm going to look straight, I'm gonna dip, okay? Shoulders are in line with the bar. From here, my feet are between shoulder and hip width apart. I'm going to drive to the ground as hard as I can. I'm going to extend my knees, extend my hips, so I'm squeezing my butt nice and tight, bringing my elbows as high as I can. The goal for this is to get your elbows as vertical to the floor as possible and the bar as close as possible to your body, okay? If the bar is far away from your body or your elbows are slightly down, the bar is not going to be traveling up as high as it could be. If my elbows are not up, it's going to cause the bar to slightly go forward, and that's going to cause a mislift, or you're going to notice you're going to be stepping forward or jumping forward, and we want to avoid that, right? If you're one of those coaches who don't have great mobility, you can clean, but you're not an Olympic lifter, right? And you're here because you have some kind of, I don't know, mobility issue, shoulder injury, whatnot. Let the members know that. Okay, let them know, like, listen, this is what I want you to do. I'm actually trying to hit this position, but I'm only here. But I'm actively trying. I'm thinking about it in my brain of hitting this position, right? So this way they know that, okay, he's not doing it, but he's actually thinking about it, just like me, because I might have poor mobility. I'm like, I'm thinking about it, but I don't look like it, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, we want to have that intention at least, right? Also, being a coach, to let yourself know that, or let them know that you're also not perfect, lets them know, like, okay, well, this guy's the coach and he can't do it yet. I shouldn't feel so bad about myself for not being able to do that, okay? Because if you don't tell them, the members are going to copy exactly the way you move. So if you're moving funny, they're going to start moving funny because they think that's the way it is supposed to be done, right? So what I make them do, I make them hit 3 reps at each position. So again, I'm from the high hang. I'm going to drive through the ground as hard as I can, bring that bar up as high and as fast as I can. And 1, reset. I really want to accentuate the hips so this way they get a good understanding that my hips are fully extending. Ready? And 2. And then I'll have them perform another one. Okay, I'm not going to rush it. I want to make sure everybody's doing it at the same time because it gives me an opportunity to check out the class and see what's going well, what isn't going well. Okay? From that position, we're going to bring it to the hang position. So from here, shoulder width apart, my shins are vertical, shoulders over the bar, head up. From here, I'm going to sweep the bar back into my pockets. All of a sudden, I'm comfortable with this position because we just worked on that, right? So once we hit this position, we know what to do. Drive to the ground, elbows up, get nice and tall, okay? So making sure, shoulders over the bar. I don't want them in line, I want them over. Shins vertical, I'm going to sweep it in, get nice and tall, okay? We do 3 reps of that. If you notice that someone is having a hard time extending for whatever reason, can't get it, we know that that extension is very important. So what you want to do is you bring them back a step. Hey, you know what? I want you to stay at that high hang position until I see that full extension. Then you can start to go lower. Because if we just let them move with poor patterns, we're just reinforcing bad movement and they don't really understand. But having the opportunity to be like, okay, well, you're moving really, really poorly at that hang position, but at that high hang, you're actually moving well. Let's bring you back there. So this way, again, reinforcing the movement, building up that confidence again, okay? So from there, we did our 3 reps. Now we're gonna go to the mid shin. The mid shin is assuming that the plates or the barbells, the plates are touching the ground, okay? So from here, weights in my heels, shoulder width apart, or between shoulder and hip width apart with my feet. My butt is above my knees, but my shoulder is above my butt. I don't want to get into any weird positions or things that I'm not comfortable with. So this is an optimal position, especially if you're a beginner, okay? So I'm driving through the ground, and as I'm doing it, you're gonna notice my hips and my shoulders they're coming up at the same rate. You're not seeing that happen. I'm not moving awkwardly. So everything moves up at the same rate. Once I squat the bar to the top of my knees, you'll notice that my shoulders are still over the bar. My shins are vertical, and we know what to do because we just worked this position, right? I'm gonna sweep that bar back to my pockets. Once we get to the pockets, I'm gonna drive that bar up, get nice and tall, and hit that extension, okay? We're gonna 2 to 3 reps at that point. Also, when we're doing that, because it's a larger range of motion that they're going through this gives them the opportunity to lift heavier. But the problem with a newbie is that the larger the range of motion means there's more room for them to screw this up. So what you don't want them to do is just grip and rip and bring that bar up because they're gonna forget everything that they just did and they just might just do that, right? So what you wanna do is tell them, I want you to drive that bar up, build in speed. Once you hit your pockets, increase that speed. Because if they can control that, they're really building good mechanics and good patterns. As they do more and more, they're going to be able to pick up the pace and go faster and faster. But until they hit that range of motion identical every single time, there's no point going faster. And even with that slow position, by hitting that timing, they're going to still be able to hit good weight. So they're going to start to reinforce that movement pattern and realize that just because I'm moving faster doesn't mean, moving faster and moving poorly, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm lifting heavier. If I can move with control, I can still lift really good weight. And if I just stay on that path and build that confidence in those reps, I'm going to actually get better than where I would if I wasn't working on it. Okay? So they're going to do 3 reps there. Once they're done, we're going to get into the high hang squat snatch. So I'm here. All we're doing, we're building from what we just worked on. We're going to drive to the ground. Once we hit that extension, we're going to pull ourselves underneath and land into that front squat position. So from here, I'm going to jump, full extension, catch, hold that position. I like them holding in this position because it gives me an opportunity to see, are they slightly forward? I'll tell them go on your back, or go more on your heels. Are your elbows touching your knees? Elbows up. Are your knees fully in line with your toes? No? Okay, put your knees out. Then stand up. It gives you an opportunity to start coaching while they're in that position, okay? If they're coming out of that squat right away, we know there's some kind of tightness, weakness, or positioning problem with their squat position. And we know that landing in the squat is their foundation. If they can't do that properly, it doesn't matter how much they can jump because they're not going to be able to catch that weight properly and stand it back up. So have them stay in there and start critiquing and fixing them. Okay, so they did 3 reps there. Then we bring them to the hang position. Exact same thing. Feet between shoulder and hip width apart. Weight on your heels. Head up. Sweep it in. Jump. Catch. Okay, so 3 reps like this. Everything should look the exact same as that high hang snatch that we just worked on. Once they do 3 there, they're going to bring the bar down. Same thing. Okay, weight on your heels, shoulders over the bar, head up, squat it to your knees, pull it into your pockets, jump, fully extend, and then catch into that squat. what you really want to focus on is that extension. That's the biggest problem that we see, that people get underweight, especially at the beginning. They can lift decent weight without having to fully extend, but if they start not moving properly at the beginning, all it is going to be really hard to undo later on when they're at more significant weights, right? And it's going to kind of hinder them from getting better. So really drive through that extension in their head and say, guys, this is what I need to see before you get underneath, okay? So once they do that, they're good to go. If you find, again, they have an issue from pulling here, they're not extending, bring them back to the hang position. If they're at the hang, they reinforce that hip extension and that drive, perfect. Bring them back down and then tell them, okay, well, squat it to your knees and then pull it up and then build from there, okay? Hopefully you enjoyed this. Again, this was supposed to be simple, concise, and methodical, where you're always trying to start from top to bottom, because less range of motion, more range of motion, and then all the range of motion makes it more difficult, but gives you the opportunity to lift more.